Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're peeling back the sticker on something you might think is simple but is actually super complex. India's postage stamp system. It's really a universe in miniature, capturing a whole nation's identity one tiny square at a time. I mean, think about it. You've probably seen hundreds of stamps in your life, right? Maybe you even collected them as a kid, but have you ever really stopped to wonder what the difference is between them? Why does one show a famous leader while another one shows a satellite? Well, it's not random. It is absolutely all part of a very deliberate system. All right, so let's get right into it, because behind every single stamp isn't just sticky paper, but a really carefully organized system that falls into three distinct categories. And understanding this is really the key to unlocking the stories these stamps are trying to tell us. So here's the breakdown. At its core, the system is divided into these three types: definitive stamps, which are kind of the daily workhorses; commemorative stamps, which are the storytellers; and then you have special issues, which add a really personal touch. Together, they handle everything from just paying for your mail to celebrating huge national milestones. So, first up, let's talk about the stamp you're most likely to bump into in the wild: the everyday workhorse. This one is the absolute foundation of the entire postal service. These are what we call definitive stamps, and you can really think of them as the reliable, functional currency of the postal world. Their main job is simple and totally essential: just to get your mail from point A to point B efficiently and consistently. Yet, they're printed by the absolute millions, and they can stay in circulation for years at a time. And to keep that sense of national identity strong, the themes are usually pretty foundational. Things like the Mahatma Gandhi series, iconic wildlife, or famous monuments. They're designed for function, sure, but also to be an everyday reminder of the nation's identity. Okay, so that's the functional side. But now let's get to where things get really interesting, where stamps stop being just a tool and start becoming a canvas for telling stories. And this is where you really see the difference. I mean, it's a night and day contrast, right? While those definitive stamps are all about function and being around forever, commemorative stamps are the exact opposite. They're all about celebration and scarcity. They are limited edition prints designed to mark a very specific moment in time. And what moments they celebrate. Man, these stamps are like tiny little historical markers. They might honor the anniversary of a key event, celebrate cultural giants like Rabindranath Tagore, or even showcase incredible scientific achievements like the missions from India's space agency, ISRO. They're really just snapshots of national pride. And this timeline? It just perfectly maps out the journey of the nation itself. I mean, think about it. The very first stamp of an independent India back in 1947, what did it show? The new national flag, of course. Shortly after that, the Ashokan lion capital appeared, symbolizing sovereignty. And today, that very same system honors cutting-edge space missions. It's charting the country's progress in real time. But here's where it gets really wild. The system doesn't just look back at history or celebrate big national events. In a really fascinating twist, it's evolved to become, well, surprisingly personal. And that brings us to our third category, and honestly, this is a total game changer. Through a service called My Stamp, India Post now lets you, yes you, put a personal photograph or even a company logo right next to a valid postage stamp design. So what this really does, and this is the key takeaway here, is it makes the whole postal system more interactive than it has ever been. It's not just a top-down system of national symbols anymore. It's a platform where citizens can actually participate, celebrating their own milestones on an official piece of postage. So when you take a step back and look at all three of these parts together, what does this elegant system really represent? What's the bigger story being told here? Well, it's a beautifully balanced system, isn't it? You've got the functional, the celebratory, and the personal. It's like these three pillars work together to make sure the postal system serves both practical daily needs and that higher purpose of cultural expression. And what that really means is that every single stamp is pulling double duty. It serves two totally distinct roles, one as a practical tool for paying postage, and another as a collectible artifact of national identity. So at the end of the day, these stamps are so much more than just a way to pay for a service. They're these tiny canvases that, when you see them all together, create, well, you could call it a living archive of India's history, its culture, and its progress. So the next time you see a postage stamp, maybe don't just stick it on the envelope and forget about it. Take a closer look, because now you know it's not just for sending mail. It's a very carefully chosen piece of a much, much larger story,
a tiny little ambassador for a nation's journey. And that kind of makes you wonder, right? What other tiny objects around you might be telling a story you've never noticed before?